Hello and welcome. Live from Channels Television's global head office in Lagos, Nigeria. You're watching Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwa, and today our focus will be on the southeast. But before we get into that, let's have a snippet of our top stories making rounds at the moment. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has called on Nigerians to engage in deeper, critical discussions to tackle the Boko Haram insurgency, describing it as a pervasive national threat. Speaking at the launch of the book, Scars, Nigeria's Journey and the Boko Haram Conundrum by former Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Rabo in Abuja, Chief Obasanjo emphasized the need for urgent solutions and proactive strategies. The former president stressed that Boko Haram has become a monster deeply intertwined with the lives of Nigerians, urging citizens and leaders alike to confront the menace with serious dialogue and actionable plans. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has shut down 2 Chinese supermarkets located in the Jabi district and 8 cosmetic shops at Wuse Market, Abuja, for flagrant violations of extant laws governing the sale, distribution and labeling of regulated products in Nigeria. The agency, which disclosed this in a press statement on Friday, signed by the Deputy Director of Public Relations, Protocol Adeboyega Oshiemi, said the enforcement team, acting on the directive of the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, confiscated and evacuated offending products worth over 170 million naira. It noted that the enforcement exercise was carried out by the NAFDAC Investigation and Enforcement Directorate and members of the Federal Task Force on counterfeit, on substandard medicines and unwholesome processed foods in Abuja, led by the Assistant Chief Regulatory Officer Musa Egboshiki. The supermarkets situated on Mike Ahigbe Way and Ibitu Ukewi Street in Jabi District, Abuja, were sealed following credible consumer complaints and subsequent surveillance by a NAFDAC enforcement team, which revealed that the operators were engaged in the sale of unregistered food items and products labeled exclusively in Chinese language, contrary to NAFDAC's mandatory labeling policy requiring English translations for the Nigerian market and regulatory understanding. In a related operation, 8 cosmetic shops within Wuse Market were also sealed for the sale of banned, expired and unregistered cosmetic aphrodisiacs and aesthetic medicines. We start off in Anambra State, where Governor Soludo of Anambra State shows his government's strong commitment to youth empowerment as he gives 3.5 billion naira seed fund to 8,300 graduates of the One Youth, Two Skills Initiative Phase 2. At the graduation ceremony held at the International Convention Center, Awka, the governor describes the program as historic. He explains that his vision is to equip every Anambra youth with at least 2 skills, with the goal of making the state the largest skills hub in sub-Saharan Africa.
The International Convention Center, Awka, is filled with joy and excitement as Anambra State's Governor, Professor Soludo, arrives for the graduation ceremony of 8,300 trainees of the One Youth, Two Skills Plus initiative. The program covers more than 65 skill areas carefully chosen through needs assessment and grouped under 4 categories: general skills, youth to agricultural scheme, the Anna Wood Creative Economy Platform, and the Boy Local Enterprise Development Scheme. Introduced by Governor Soludo's administration in 2022, the initiative aims to drastically cut underemployment, make Anambra a leading skill hub in West Africa, and curb insecurity and social vices among young people.
Almost 49% increase from our pioneer batch, and a vivid demonstration of the unwavering commitment of Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, to creating sustainable pathways out of unemployment for Anambra youth. This is very massive and the first of its kind in the history of entrepreneurship education in Africa.
Value orientation program, youth information and redirection program targeted at transforming and positively empowering youths that got themselves into crime, child kill and anti-social behavior. We also have the aspects of the program that targets job placement, which is Job Kickstart Solution Initiative.
Some of the beneficiaries of the first phase share their experiences and testimonies.
On a norm, I would never dream of going to business school. Where do I see the millions of naira to enroll in Unizik? But this program made it possible. Today, my business is digitalized. I can now converse with potential clients in my various social media handles because of this entrepreneurial skill.
Based on all this training and exposure, I am now into digital marketing. Our highly processed, hygienically processed fish is now outside this country. Mr. Donald, for me to be exporting, that will tell you the quality of what we have.
What is the solution difference?
Go scale!
Congratulating the new graduates, Governor Soludo stresses that the greatest investment any society can make is in human capital development.
To have the 8,300 of you graduating today, that's out of a total of 183,107 applicants. I want to tell you that the 8,300 of you that are graduating today are very, very special. So I look at your faces. I look at your faces today, you're graduating with a lot of hope and promise. And what I can see in your faces, I see hope. I see hope. I see hope for Anambra. I see hope for Nigeria. What I see in your faces, I see these entrepreneurs from the testimonials given, new startups and so on and so forth. I can say what we have been doing very intentionally in terms of our youth empowerment. As I look in your faces today, I see the future millionaires and billionaires.
The highlight of the event includes the presentation of certificates to the graduates and the unveiling of a 35 billion naira seed fund to support the 8,300 new entrepreneurs.
Abia State joins the rest of the world in marking World Tourism Day 2025, with Governor Alex Otti reaffirming his administration's commitment to reshaping the state's tourism and hospitality industry. Governor Otti, represented by his Chief of Staff, describes tourism as a vital tool for driving inclusive development and promoting environmental sustainability.
Since coming into office, Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has taken steps to revive key tourism sites across the state. The governor pledges to restore both state and federal government tourist centers, including the National War Museum, Ojukwu Bunker, the Long Juju of Arochukwu, the cave in Imonochi, and the Azumini Blue River, among others. This commitment inspires the State Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy to host an event that brings together government officials, members of the Nigerian Hotel Association, and experts in the hospitality industry at the Jack Building, Secretariat Road, Umuahia.
Using culture, using arts, using tourism as a powerful tool to bring about transformation. We're looking at very creative ways of launching this state to the next phase. His Excellency said he has come to create prosperity. And I think that tourism, arts and culture, entertainment can be that powerful tool and platform that can help Abians.
The Chief of Staff to Governor Otti says tourism has the power to transform the economy, describing Abia as a state rich in cultural heritage.
As we celebrate this World Tourism Day today, let us go beyond celebration. Let us commit action. Let us move from discovery to development. from heritage to hope, from preservation to transformation.
Also speaking, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Entertainment and Tourism, Justice Martins, notes that the celebration of World Tourism Day is a call to action for both government and private sector players.
Tourism must become a vehicle for sustainable development, inclusive growth, environmental stewardship, and transformative change, not only for visitors, but also for host communities and our natural heritage.
This year's World Tourism Day 2025, with the theme Tourism and Sustainable Transformation, features cultural performances and expert discussions on the future of the industry.
A political support group in Ebonyi State, known as Francis Frontiers, has openly declared support for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and Governor Francis Nwifuru ahead of the 2027 general elections. Speaking during the launch of its chapter in Ezamagbo, Ohaoku local government area, the group urges citizens to take part in the ongoing INEC continuous voter registration exercise, stressing that active participation is key to strengthening democracy and promoting good governance.
On this note, I want to digress a bit by asking everybody here to go and get voters' card. Go and get voters' cards for you to exercise your powers. Powers to vote, powers to elect who you want, powers to elect Francis Nwifuru. It's not by singing, it's not by shouting, it's not by jumping. It's by getting your voters' card. All the women, because majority of the vote is cast by women. Women are the most populous when it comes to voting. So the whole women, go and get your voters' card and be prepared. On this note, I want to say here that it is time for us to unveil Francis Frontiers in Ohaoku local government. Thank you very much.
To speak more on the entrepreneurial scheme in Anambra State by the Professor Chukwuma Soludo government and entrepreneur Cornel Osigwe joins us from Anambra State. Thank you for joining us at this time.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon. Now, how has Governor Soludo's 3.5 billion naira seed fund for the 8,300 youths under One Youth, Two Skills changed opportunities for young entrepreneurs in Anambra State?
Yeah, you should know that this cohort is the second cohort. We have the first one that was launched in 2023, that we have about 5,000 youth. Then this one, the second one, which is about 8,300 youth. It has changed a lot and impacted a lot of things for the entrepreneurs in Anambra State. First, we are talking about job creation. This scheme has been able to give opportunity for the creation of over 1,000 innovation hubs in Anambra State, and which comes with a lot of job creation. And also you talk about scalability and job opportunities. So it has impacted a lot of entrepreneurs in Anambra State.
Okay, now beyond the financial empowerment, what physical infrastructure and enabling environments like power in terms of electricity, roads, digital access is the state providing to ensure that these new businesses that are being birthed can survive and thrive moving forward?
Yes, in terms of power, the governor has been able to form partnership with the EEDC and also invested on EEDC so that they can be able to upgrade the power infrastructure in Anambra State, thereby making making rural communities and urban districts to have more accessibility power. But more interestingly, the government also, on the legislative framework, they were able to sign the Anambra, I think there's a law that the Soludo government passed that enabled private sectors to come into power. So they are bundling they have been able to unbundle the power to make private entrepreneurs to come have access to investment in power, and which will be able to bring power accessible to private investors so that they can be able to invest in power.
Okay. Now, moving forward, with over 65 skill areas covered in the initiative, how well do these trainings align with the real demands of the market and job opportunities within Nigeria and globally?
Hello, repeat.
Okay, I said this current opportunity, this training that is going on, how is it relatable to the market and job opportunities within Nigeria and globally for Anambra youths? How is it going to impact this process?
Well, you know, the one youth 2 skill was able to give access to Anambra resident opportunity for them to acquire 2 skill. There we have people who will be able to who acquire technical skills, and we have people who also acquire the digital skill. You understand? So you can see that Anambra is now a hub where you can be able to get hands-on skills. So this training has been able to impact positively on the job market. You understand? Not just for Anambra, but in Nigeria in general. You understand? A situation whereby we have over 13,000 youths who have been able to acquire diverse skills, from technical skill to digital skill. Where we this year in May 2025 we have the 1 million digital tribe skill, 1 million digital tribe, where we are raising about 1 million people are acquiring digital skills. So you can imagine the impact that these skills are going to have in the job market, in the labor market.
Okay. Now, currently, many youths face challenges in accessing credits. We know that there's a 3.5 billion naira seed fund, and mentorship is also a problem, and markets. Now, what steps is the government taking to bridge these gaps and sustain long-term growth for these young businesses?
The government also created what we call the Anambra State Business Agency, where youth can be able to have access to low interest rate loan. So a situation whereby the government have already empowered the youth with their own seed fund that is aside their personal savings. There's aside their capitals from other places. You understand? Then when you add the seed fund that the government have given them, plus their personal savings, with the support from the Anambra State Business Agency, where they can be able to access low interest fund. So with this, the young entrepreneurs now have access to funds to be able to power their businesses.
Okay, thank you very much. Colonel Osigwe is an entrepreneur from Anambra. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
No problem.
Now, moving on, the wife of the president, Senator Remi Tinubu, flags off a national menstrual hygiene program for secondary school girls in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Represented by the wife of the Imo State Governor, Chioma Uzodinma, Mrs. Tinubu explains that under the Renewed Hope agenda, schoolgirls in rural communities across Imo State will receive a 1-year supply of sanitary pads.
About 370,000 secondary school girls across rural communities in Nigeria, including Imo State, are set to benefit from Flow with Confidence, a menstrual hygiene initiative championed by the First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu. The First Lady says the program is designed to empower women, promote environmental sustainability, and support vulnerable communities. That is why this event held in Owerri, the Imo State capital, where hundreds of female students from selected schools gather for a special program. At the event, Chioma Uzodinma, wife of the Imo State Governor, stresses the need for collective action to uplift young girls and give them the confidence to pursue their dreams.
The success of Flow with Confidence program depends on all of us. I want to especially appeal to the executive chairmen of local government areas. Given your critical position as the arm of government closest to the people and your role in delivering essential services, it is crucial that you take ownership of this intervention, scale up, and ensure this supplies get directly to deserving girls in our rural communities. The pads are not to be sold under any circumstance.
As part of the program, a lecture on menstrual hygiene and confidence is delivered by medical consultant Dr. Emily Akwabia Nzeribe, who highlights the importance of proper hygiene and self-pride.
We are here to understand what it is, how to manage it, and how to support one another. Periods are powerful, so we need to talk about it openly and confidently. You should not be ashamed. You should be able to discuss it with your teachers, with your mother, with your friends, very clearly.
For these young girls, the message is clear. Menstrual hygiene is not a limitation or weakness, but a sign of strength and womanhood. Ejitopa Kutai, Channels Television News.
Igbo leaders from around the world have gathered at Dr. Alex Okwueme Square in Awka, Anambra State to commemorate the 2025 World Igbo Day, a significant occasion that honors the sacrifices of past Igbo heroes and victims of historical conflicts, including the Kano Massacre and the Nigerian Civil War. The event has drawn attention to the need for unity and progress in Igbo land, with Anambra State's Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, set to deliver a keynote address.
The World Igbo Day celebration, hosted by the Anambra State government, draws delegates from the 7 Igbo-speaking states of Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo, Delta, and Rivers. This year's commemoration has the theme, Do Not Abandon Your Own, a solemn remembrance of Igbo heroes and victims, particularly those killed in Kano on September 29, 1966, and others that perished during the Nigerian Civil War. Major speakers emphasized the need for Igbos to strive for the region to reach its full potential.
I believe the greatest gift we can take home from this gathering today is to affirm our strong resolve to continue to love one another. We must stand as our brother's keeper, to lift one another and recognize that the strong bond of Igbo identity keeps us together.
We want an Igbo land that will be the destination of choice in Nigeria. Our prayer is that as we stand up for each other, as our brother's keeper, that we will build an Igbo nation that will be strong, economically strong, an Igbo nation where there will be progress, an Igbo nation where there will be unity.
In recognition of the giant strides of the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, the title of the Shining Light of Igbo Land is conferred on him in a ceremony conducted by the Anambra State Traditional Rulers Council.
He said, Easy.
Addressing the gathering, Governor Soludo notes the importance of World Igbo Day, which serves as a reminder of the need to safeguard peace in the region.
We must realize that our future lies in having a prosperous homeland, but also having the latitude to be able to soar across the length and breadth of the earth. We cannot be confined to one tiny geographic boundary. Our prosperity, longevity, sustainability lies in our ability to be able to exploit all that the entire world can offer.
The annual celebration is described by Ohaneze Igbo as a roadmap that will help the people uplift the region from a land of despair to a destination of hope, prosperity, and strong cultural values, as depicted by these colorful performances.
That's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Enjoy the rest of your day.